Do you know this plant? It's a plant called Philodendron saloon. Now, if you've knocked around the odd house or maybe even looked in your own place, you've probably seen one of these growing somewhere in the corner. It's a really tough indoor plant, but it doesn't produce much in the way of stems that you could strike as cuttings. So it has to be grown by seed. And it really does have a very curious and bizarre sexual life. Now, it comes from Central America. Over there, its sexual activities are actually aided by a night-flying moth. But here in Australia, these rather weird organs have to be manipulated in rather a different way. It's not until late on one particular night in the year that each flower becomes heavily perfumed and sexually receptive. Kay, what are you actually doing?
Hi, Don. I'm pollinating a philodendron. This is ready to be pollinated tonight because it's open, and the bottom part is the female part, which is receptive to the pollen when it's hot. If you feel that, you'll find it's about 96 degrees.
That's quite warm.
Isn't it? Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And this top bit here is what?
It's the male part. Right. That will produce the pollen 24 hours after this flower has begun to close. The little close around at the waist area here.
To stop it from self-pollinating?
Yes, and it's normally done by a moth in Brazil in the tropics, you know, but it doesn't happen here, so we have to simulate the moth and produce the pollen onto the plant as it requires it.
And roughly how long from doing this pollination to seed set?
About 2 months.
Right. What does it look like? What actually happens to it?
Well, the base of this swells. It's like a pregnant woman, so to speak, and the seeds are all in little capsules, and there's about 30 seeds to each little bubbly capsule, and they break open and you extract the seed from it. Yes, now this one should be well and truly pollinated now.
It looks as if it's not an unpleasant thing to do.
No, it's quite fun actually. We do this for about 3 months of the year. Every night we come along and check all of these plants to make sure that they're all done so that we've got seed production.
So what, for instance, something like this might open up tomorrow night or the next night?
Yes.
And the perfume is always this strong?
Oh yes, it's quite overbearing, isn't it?
Amazing.
Toxic.
But I'm just amazed at how warm that is.
Yes, yes. Yes, it's an intoxicating perfume.